Hello, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm from Braiden Consulting. And today we're having Maria Butina here. So you can join our live stream. Today we're about to have a really important topic. And first, Maria, I won't take up much of your time. Let me just ask a few questions, and then we would move forward and have a nice conversation with the subscribers of Welcome to Russia. So, Maria, the very first question is about Russian legislation, Russian migration legislation. Are there any news with Russian migration legislation? For example, last time, as far as I remember, we discussed the so-called golden visa, golden residency procedure option. So the fact that foreigners who choose this path, they still need to pass Russian language, history, and basics of Russian legislation. Could you please tell us, has there been any progress, any updates on this particular issue?
All right, thank you so much, and hi everyone. Last time we discussed that there will be possibly changes to the Russian law, so the investors should not pass Russian language test to get their VNZh, which means their residency status. Well, Russia is big, and the changes are quite slow, especially when it took us almost the whole summer to work with different international experience to actually develop the perfect changes that we have to implement in the law. So, we have our parliament, the legislative branch, has 2 sessions a year. One session goes from the fall to the springtime, fall to the Christmas time, and the second one from Christmas time to the summertime. So during the summertime, from the mid-July to August till August, we don't have any session working, which means there is no possibility physically to introduce any changes to the law. So we hope that in a few months, because we got the somewhat acceptance from the Ministry of Economic Development, that they absolutely agree that we shall eliminate the Russian test, which is, I think, a big progress. But according to change the law, we probably will need several months or so. This is important. We should be patient toward this, because it's better to do it properly than to create a law that will not work. So that's why we didn't give up. We're still working on this issue. And I think our biggest win and victory here is the fact that the Ministry of Economic Development, which is the government of Russia, part of the government of Russia, they agree. They say, okay, we see the problem, we see the options, and now this issue goes to me as their deputy, because the changes that we need to implement should be driven by someone who has the legislative initiative, like the deputy of the parliament, which I could absolutely do, and I will do it. My specialists now are developing the right text. This is in terms of the golden visa issue and everything. And I should tell here that huge help was given to us by Braiden Consulting, because we had a mutual meeting with several companies, and the best probably and the most developed ideas and suggestions on the legal side were given by Braiden Consulting. So thank you so much. And it's wonderful when business works with government in a way that we make our country better and simplify the process for the good people who want to invest in Russia, who want to live in Russia, who want to move to Russia. And so thank you so much, guys.
Thanks a lot, Maria. Really appreciate it. And of course, we should not expect that these changes, changes in the legislation would be so rapid. Of course, the very first thing is to understand the issue, the problem, and of course, when we're talking about investment program, that yes, that makes sense. That a foreign citizen who would like to invest would not need to pass this language exams. Thank you so much. We're really excited. Thanks for these updates. Sounds really great. I just thought that we had our conversation like a month ago, but actually, yeah, it was like in summer. Yeah, it's everything's very, very, very fast.
It's not about fast. It means that we should meet more often.
Often, yeah, totally agree here. Yes, that's right. And well, actually, I would like to ask. So my next question is also about some new initiatives that plan that you can share with us, with your subscribers. And it's really interesting. What are the plans? Of course, people, especially those who are about to relocate to Russia, they want to see something, something more. Maybe that there will be some changes in the legislation that would make their life easier here. Do you have any updates regarding this?
Yeah. So probably my biggest work is focused today, besides the investment or the golden visa, is around the custom control, because we have a lot of requests from the people who move to Russia and who brings the property to Russia, that they have issues. And they have issues because they need to pay the utility price, as we call it, which means that they pay a special tax for a car if they bring a car to Russia. They pay for each kilo or each pound when they bring their personal belongings. That shall change. And this is the next thing that I'm working on, precisely developing the way how we can either eliminate or let to the Russian regions where you guys move, to compensate, to give you money back for the money you pay if you need to bring your personal belongings with you, or you want to open your own business and you want to bring certain machines or something. Okay, takes time again, but I think some changes we will introduce by December. Here's why. Because on December 20th, and you should guys contact Braiden Consulting if you're interested to take part in this event. We will have Catherine the Great second forum. This is the biggest event that we have in a year, actually every 2 years. To be precise, which is devoted to the Catherine the Great legacy, who, as we know, passed the first decree for the people from Europe and all over the world to move to Russia. And this is how we have Russian Germans in Povolzhia. This is an area in Russia along the river Volga. So, we celebrate her glory on this forum, but mostly this is a working ground. So we bring people from the Ministry of Economic Development, from the Ministry of Digital Service, the Immigration Service, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and all these people who actually do make decisions on your documents. They will be there. You can ask questions. You can hear success stories. It's not difficult at all to come. Just you can vouch for Braiden Consulting, and the guys will send me a list of the if you want to participate. Of course, there will be like participation form or something that you have to fill. If you live abroad and you're thinking of moving to Russia, this is the best place to go. Here's why. You will meet people who have already moved to Russia, and you will also talk to the people who actually make decisions on your documents and help you there will be several Russian regions presented, so they will show the opportunities that they give to the people who move to Russia. So this December 20th, okay, you mark in your calendar, you contact Braiden Consulting if you want to participate in the Catherine the Great Forum. And you do not pay for the participation. There is no fee that you shall pay to take part in the forum. This is absolutely free. We do not compensate any money for you, for your traveling and everything, but we don't charge you. Meaning, if you're on the forum, it means very nice time, free meal, and the opportunity, the most important one, to be in the national center of Russia. You probably heard that President Putin declared the opening of the All Russia Center in the heart of Moscow, and you can hear the information that will be very useful for you. So that's kind of it. So we are focused on the forum because we will present a lot of initiatives and the changes around the forum, because there will be a year of the 702 decree and many things like that.
Wow, Maria, sounds really interesting and great. Of course, please mark December 20 in your calendars. So that's going to be huge. I mean, and I just would like to know that when people share their real life stories, their real, experience, for those who are already, have moved to Russia, and those who are just, considering this opportunity, this is something special. So everyone, join us the December 20, and also thank you so much about the first part of your answer, right? Because, well, if a family who have, family with 5 kids, right? So they're about to sell their, houses, apartments, but they do have their, car or cars, and they want to just, bring their stuff here. So these initiatives sounds really, reasonable, and we need them. Our clients, our foreign citizens who share the traditional values, really they've been waiting for these changes, and this is just great. All right, but last but not least, Maria, I've heard that, and this is for those who live in Moscow. Could you please tell our viewers about the forum about family, the International Family Forum, and that will be held like during this weekend, like I think
Exactly.
27th and 28th.
27, 28, exactly. And thank you very much for mentioning this, because for the people who move to Russia from abroad, Braiden Consulting and his people will have a special panel. The general forum is devoted to the heritage. So for those people who want to keep the tradition, for those people who respect their relatives, that lived before us and will be, I mean, our kids and everything. It's all about family. It's all about family and heritage. So actually, we have been friends with the people, they call themselves the NGO, Family Tradition, for a long time. And what they do, they help people to find the roots, and sometimes actually live in relatives. Me personally, I take part in many of their events because I know my heritage to the 11 generations before me, which is quite a lot. Okay. Because my grandfather, he passed away in 2011, but he left a lot of notes because he has been discovering our heritage and family tree for a long time through whole his life. So anyway, so what you can find on the forum, on one hand, you can meet professionals, historians, people who can help you to discover your genetic and your heritage. On the other hand, I think it's much more interesting probably for those who live on the practical side and have families, there will be a lot of different businesses and government presented who will talk about the support to the families that Russia gives. So it's all about kindergarten, it's all about schools, it's all about different projects related to their motherhood and family, family values and stuff like that. Of course, we will talk about history. We will talk about different new effective ways how to promote the learning, the love to learn history. And we actually, the organizers of the forum, very much want everyone to bring ideas. So if you have your own family tree, you're looking for relatives, you want to dive deeper, that's the forum to go to. So the 27th, 28th of September, it's going to be in the heart of Moscow. And the event is, again, absolutely free. So come, join, bring ideas, bring your family. It's going to be very funny. Last time there were about 5,000 people. A lot of, oh boy, it's great. They have a lot of little stores, farmers, and they bring their little stuff. So it's actually exciting family atmosphere. So if you decide to go, that's a good choice.
All right, guys. So you have your plans for the weekend. Please do visit the International Family Forum in the heart of Moscow, Saturday and Sunday. Maria, thank you so much for bringing up all of these things. I mean, this is so important, and I'm personally I feel very excited that we have a development, right? Of course, we don't have to expect that everything would be just like this, right? Of course, there's a long path, and with your help, with the help of your team, I do believe that everything's possible here, and people that share traditional values that would like to relocate to Russia, grow their families here, learn Russian language, and not only Russian language, but they do want to become Russians. They don't want to be some sort of a separate community. No, they want to live here and they want to be Russian. So yeah, just join the events, share your stories, and share your ideas, and together I think everything is possible. Maria, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much. And if you guys, and I'm sure you will develop certain questions to me, again, as we did it last time, you just send them to Braiden Consulting and we prepare for you answers. Also, if you want to have more seminars like this, well, guys from Braiden, they know what to do. So just send questions. We will form another meeting where you can get answers to all your questions. So thank you so much, and I will leave you in a good place with the good people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Amazing to have had the seminar with Maria now. So now on to the audience's questions.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get going. Thank you everybody for joining tonight. Michael, let's get straight to it. So question number one, what right does a permanent residence holder have that a temporary residence permit holder doesn't have?
So yeah, by the way, today's topic, so we will talk about permanent residence permit, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
The very first step is getting the temporary residence permit, let's say on the ground of 702 decree, right? The best law. I'm a huge fan. So when you'll get your temporary residence permit, after 8 months, you'll get the legal right automatically to apply for a permanent residence permit, right? And please know that, and do remember that the latest possible date to apply for the permanent residence permit is 4 months before expiration of your 3-year temporary residence permit. So the question, your first question is about the difference, right?
Exactly, yeah. So what right does a permanent residence holder have that a temporary residence permit holder doesn't have?
Well, let's start with with basics, right? So first, the temporary residence permit is issued for 3 years, and a permanent residence permit is issued forever. So once you get this permanent residence permit, then okay, your case closed, right? So you can it's issued indefinitely. So this is the very first difference, right? And this is a huge advantage actually. Then, if you're a holder of a permanent residence permit, then you don't have to live in the same region where you got your permanent residence permit, because the nature of the temporary residence permit that it is issued for a certain region. Just a quick reminder: if you're about to arrive in Moscow, so you'll get your registration in Moscow. That means that you can apply for the temporary residence permit only in Moscow, and eventually this residency, this temporary residence permit, will be issued to Moscow, right? So that means that you can officially work in Moscow. You can be hired only in Moscow, and your base, your home for the next 3 years would be Moscow as well. And here, when you will get your permanent residence permit, there is no such obligation. I mean, you can get your permanent residence permit and just relocate. So as Russian citizens, right? And of course, in terms of employment, you can get hired anywhere in Russia. So these are benefits and differences between temporary residence permit and a permanent one. I would say these are the biggest ones. Okay, so again, it's issued forever. You can change location. You can stay wherever you want. So change Moscow to Siberia or to Krasnodar, you name it. And of course, you can get hired anywhere.
Great, Michael. Thank you. So with this wonderful thing in mind, how do you get a permanent residence permit step by step?
Well, steps are the same as for the temporary residence permit. Well, you should collect and prepare documents correctly, right? Everything must be just perfect. Please note that we can say that actually a VNZh, a permanent residence permit, is the next level, is the next step. So that's why when you're about to apply for the VNZh, for the permanent residence permit, the authorities, I mean inspectors, are even more stricter. Because again, this residency is issued forever. So they have to, check everything really carefully. And that's why every document, every single page must be, perfectly prepared. This is the thing. So yeah, you should collect your documents. The thing is that you don't need to provide the migration card, right? So since you've already got your RVP, the temporary residence permit registration, fill out the VNZh application form, so medicals, then the state fee. The state fee is a bit higher than for the RVP. And so yeah, collect your documents. If you're about to apply in Moscow, upload all your documents on the official website of Sakharova Migration Center to get the ticket, talon, as we call it in Russian language, for an appointment. And rules in different regions are different, actually. So you can just show up there with a ready-made package of documents and apply. So yeah, basically step-by-step plan is to, well, collect all the documents, be sure that everything is correctly prepared, and apply. The same consideration period applies, which is 4 months after you get accepted. So you apply, you got your acceptance letter, wait for 4 months. Migration authorities, and thanks actually them, they try, as our practice shows, they try to issue residences even faster than the 4 months period, which is of course good. People want to get it as soon as possible. So this is, yes, this is how it's done.
Mhm. So coming back to the actually package of documents that you have to submit. So
Yeah.
what documents do you not need to submit for the second time after you have submitted them previously for the TRP?
Really, really nice question, by the way. Well, obviously, migration card, then the police clearance certificate is not on the list of required documents for the permanent residence permit. However, we should also, take into account the outcome, the experience. I mean, the legal practice, right? So let's say you've already got your temporary residence permit and you would like to, make a visit to your home country or just make a travel trip, something like this. So you would come back, and so you're about to apply for the VNZh, right? Since you've made this, exit, so you left Russia and then came back, an exact inspector may ask for the police clearance certificate. However, so two sides here. An inspector can ask any additional document. Please bear in mind that it's all about VNZh, a permanent residence permit. Guys, you'll become almost like Russian citizens. That's why it's very serious, and we have to prepare really carefully here. So yeah, they may ask any additional document. This is their right. And from the other hand, again, police clearance certificate is not on the list of required documents for VNZh. They may ask if you would make this trip, right? So leave Russia and come back. But from the legal point of view, some time ago we actually made the official request to the Ministry of Internal Affairs asking, do you actually need to show this document? The answer is no, right? But just be prepared that they may ask for it, but from the legal point of view, it's not required, okay? And so what else? Yeah, you do need your registration, of course. Also, you need one of the additional documents that you need is the bank statement. So in order to apply for the temporary residence permit, you don't need to show any financial documents, such as bank statement from your Russian bank account, right? Here, for the VNZh, it's required. And here, this is just a piece of advice. They ask for a specific form of this document, of this bank statement, bank certificate. Please note that you should have at least 4 times of minimum salary on your bank account. Also, in this certificate, you should have this wording, vklad. In English is deposit, right? So they ask for vklad. This is something special for you. This is some sort of a life hack, and this is what we do actually when we prepare documents, because we know what migration authorities expect to see there, right? And this is one of these things. There are lots of things, believe me, and believe the practice of my colleagues, lawyers. So yeah, one of the additional documents is the bank certificate for the VNZh.
Great, Michael. Thank you so much. So in regards to the documents, we have that. What are the common mistakes that kind of occur when you actually apply for the permanent residence permit?
This is the core thing. So again, we should remember that this is the second level. We're not talking even about like citizenship. This is the second level. That's why they're so serious, because we can kind of say that when you're about to apply with a ready-made package of documents, they're kind of making their decision. I mean, that's why they're so serious. I mean, migration authorities and inspectors, they're so serious when they check your documents, right? Because if everything's okay, so you get accepted, right? Then after 4 months, you will get your VNZh. Of course, if you didn't, provide any fake documents, don't do it. And provide with false information, right? So that means that if you're accepted, then you'll get your VNZh. And so what was the question?
So the question
mistakes,
was, yeah, the
right?
mistakes.
Mistakes.
What are the unfortunate events that happen when you apply for the permanent residence permit? What mistakes can happen? What mistakes can occur?
You may make a mistake in every single document. This is the thing. Misspelling of your full name in the registration, or of course the main document here is the заявление, the VNZh, the permanent residence permit application form. They check every single word. Okay, this is the thing. Yeah, mistakes may be there. Then translations of your notarized translations of your documents.
Mm-hmm.
You should, yeah, if you're about to apply by yourself, check everything. Like, yeah, let me just give you an example. Let's say if you're a citizen from the UK, right? Her Majesty or His Majesty, right? Yeah, because it depends when you got your passport, right? And in the translation itself, it must be Ее or Его Majesty. This is Russian language.
Yeah.
Guys, please keep on learning Russian language. So, I mean, the thing is that you may make any mistake in every document, right? Yeah, and I already told you about the application itself, translations, registration. So and of course the bank statement, right? So
yeah.
You should have the what they expect to see. This is the idea.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. This is actually really important information about the vklad and about the deposit. So that's really something to take note of. So coming back to actually, there basically you can get TRP on the basis of the 702 decree, and you can get TRP on the basis of other things. So is there actually a difference in the procedure of obtaining permanent residence permit after the TRP on the 702 decree, or after the TRP are obtained on a different basis? Is there a difference in the two?
Well, let me answer like this. So any foreign citizen who holds the temporary residence permit will have this right, like automatically, to apply for the permanent residence permit after 8 months. This is the earliest possible date, after 8 months of holding this temporary residence permit, right? So let's say, let's consider 702 decree as a legal ground, right? And let's say marriage, right? So if a foreign citizen is married for at least 3 years, then he or she can apply for the temporary residence permit, and after 8 months, apply for a permanent residence permit. Here, there is no difference in documents. I mean, again, you just need this bank statement, application form, state fee. This is the thing. But let's imagine, right? You've got your temporary residence permit on the ground of 702 decree. Then you got married, and then you're about to become a father or a mother of a Russian child, right? So you'd have a common child. Here, the legal ground would be different. Actually, this foreign citizen will get 2 legal grounds. The first one is the fact of owning this temporary residence permit for at least 8 months. And secondly, the legal ground based on your marriage and common child, right? Of course, when we're talking about marriage and common child, additional documents are required, such as marriage certificate, obviously, and birth certificate of your child, and of course the Russian child must be permanently registered. So additionally, the permanent registration of your child, which is indicated in the certificate 08. So the idea is that we should take into account the legal ground, right? So a foreign citizen may get additional legal grounds in order to apply for VNZh. But today's topic about getting VNZh, permanent residence permit, on the ground of temporary residence permit, right?
Yeah, so basically now the last and the long-awaited question. For how long does one need to wait until they can actually apply for a Russian passport after receiving permanent residence permit?
In Russian legislation, we have the general procedure of getting residencies, citizenship, and simplified. So let me just start with simplified ones. All right, let's imagine that you're a holder of a permanent residence permit, right? Then, if you are married to a Russian citizen and if you have a common child, then you can apply for citizenship right away. With the general procedure, you have to wait for 5 years. So after you get your permanent residence permit with a general procedure, you have to wait for 5 years, and only then you can apply for citizenship. So let's say if you're a family from a so-called unfriendly country, so you're about to relocate to Russia according to the 702 decree, then your first step is the temporary residence permit. Then, oh my God, I just missed something very, very, important and special. Language exam. Guys, if you're about to apply for a permanent residence permit, one of the needed documents is the certificate of passing Russian language, history, and legislation exam for the VNZh level. Because with the 702 decree, you are exempt from passing Russian language, history, and legislation exam for the RVP level, right? This is a huge advantage, right? So families, people, not only families, but, people can just, get the 702 visa, arrive here, collect all the needed documents, and apply for the temporary residence permit. Certificate of language is not required, but if you want to apply for the permanent residence permit according to the current legislation, we'll see what's going to be next. I don't know. According to current legislation, you have to pass Russian language, history, and legislation exam for the VNZh level, which is actually also the step 2, right? Like A2 or you name it, right? So yes, this is required for VNZh. If we're talking about folks who got their temporary residence permit on the ground of 702 decree, because if your legal ground is your marriage with Russian citizen and common child, then you don't have to pass this language exam. There are many nuances. There are many differences. That's why it's maybe good to have a consultation with lawyers. And Braiden Consulting, we provide consultations free of charge. So feel free to contact us. You may get back to your question.
So just basically rounding up. So there is the simplified procedure and then there's the general procedure. So general procedure is 5 years. Simplified procedure has the option to apply straight away, right?
That's right. And for citizenship, of course, you have to pass Russian language, history, and legislation exam for citizenship level. This is the thing. Yeah.
Great, Michael. Thank you. So now, you guys, those who have joined, you can actually ask your own question. You just press the button, raise the hand. So it looks like this, and you just go ahead, and you're really welcome to ask your question to Michael.
All right. I'm excited to hear some questions.
Yes, let's get to
from
it.
our viewers, subscribers of Welcome to Russia. So feel free to ask questions about VNZh, about permanent residence permit. If you have any, private stories, just briefly, you may just briefly explain the situation and ask your question.
Yes, because today's topic is the step 2. So we've done the first session on the temporary residence permit, and now we're having the permanent residence permit.
Yes, for those folks who really consider living here in Russia. Just feel free to ask any questions. No worries here.
So, this is really an opportunity. So while there may be people who are actually waiting to do that, let's just come back and discuss perhaps 1 or 2 more issues that we still have the option to. So for VNZh, for the permanent residence permit, there is a certain limit to how long you can be out of the country, right? Is there? So what is this limit?
Not only for VNZh, not only for permanent residence permit, both for temporary and a permanent residence permit, you have to stay in Russia, inside the country, for at least 6 months in total, not in Iran. Because I used to, hear this confusion about this 6 months period, right? So guys, just if you're about to get stamped with your temporary residence permit tomorrow, then you should count 1 year. And with this time frame, you should be in Russia for at least 6 months because you're recognized as a resident of Russia. It makes sense. Actually, this is the universal rule. If you're about to get your residency, in EU, US, you have to be there for at least half a year, right? And the same applies for a permanent residence permit. So you have to be inside of the country for at least 6 months. Let me just compare VNZh, a permanent residence permit, and citizenship, right? I think this is also a hot topic, right? First, with Russian citizenship, of course, you can vote. Secondly, with Russian citizenship, you don't have this 6 months rule. So if you're recognized as a Russian citizen, you can be absent for years. I mean, so you don't have to be inside the country for this 6 months period. Also, and this is a very important aspect about annual notification form, because there are certain things that you have to do every year with temporary or a permanent residence permit. So let's say you got your temporary or a permanent residence permit. Count 1 year. After 1 year, you have to submit the document which is called annual notification form. 2 months. So you have 2 months after 1 year. Basically, this document says that, guys, I'm here, everything's okay. Also, additionally, you attach a document confirming your financial, status situation. Previously, you could just, show them your bank statement. Nowadays, as our practice shows, they ask for the, tax reports, tax forms. So if you're hired by a company, by a Russian company, and again, you have the same legal rights in terms of employment with a temporary or a permanent residence permit. Employers, they don't need to do any extra actions or get any work permits. So it's called два НДФЛ, 2 НДФЛ, made by employers. Or if you have a personal income, the document's called 3 НДФЛ. So you just attach this form to your annual notification form, and you have to annually submit this form, and that's when the certain inspector can see that, wow, so you've been outside of Russia for 7 months, 8 months. According to the law, this sole fact is the legal ground to cancel your temporary or a permanent residence permit if you don't have a good reason. A good reason, well, maybe let's say you had to, you had your medical treatment outside of Russia. This is life, right? Everything could happen. Also, if you have to take care of your, family members, you can just make the notarized translation of this documents, which actually can prove these facts. And, migration authorities, in this case, Ministry of Internal Affairs, they're also, people, right? And they try to be flexible, because we had such clients. Sometimes they don't even, look at this supportive documents. They understand, and this is very good from a human point of view, right? From the moral point of view that, everything could happen to you. And yeah, they don't cancel your RVP or VNZh, and they don't impose a fine. If you don't have a good reason, well, as practice shows, usually for the first violation, they don't impose a fine. So, sorry, they do impose a fine.
They do, yeah.
They don't cancel it, just right away. This is, but of course, if you violate this rule, sorry, second time, they would
There might be an
actually cancel
issue,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So, since there are many people with families obviously relocating to Russia and getting the permits, so in the case of a minor, actually, how do minors get permanent residency after temporary residency?
Okay. So you can apply with your child who's under 18. So your child is linked to you, right? Obviously. But yeah, there may be different life situations. Let's say you could just first, let's say a father or a mother first applies for the temporary presence permit, and then other family members can just join her or him here in Russia. And when you're about to apply for the permanent residence permit, then yes, you can include, let's say, your daughter or your son to the application itself. So there will be the separate application, but that would be basically attached to the, to the grown-up, to the adult. Also, second option, let's say if you've already got your VNZh, a permanent residence permit, and your minor is about to join you, it's also possible for your child to get the VNZh, to get a permanent residence permit. So the procedure would be the same. So you should collect and prepare all the documents, and on the ground that the one of the parents holds the VNZh, permanent residence permit, the child also can apply for it. So that's how it goes.
Fabulous. Michael, thank you so much. I believe this is just another opportunity for those who are in the meeting to ask their questions. You just press the button, raise hand. But in general, Michael, I think this has been a great opportunity, and thank you so much for taking the time to discuss all these questions. I think the meeting with Maria was absolutely fabulous. So I do think it's a great initiative that we are doing, and it's great to have you guys here. It's I think it's just the whole the temporary residence permit, the permanent residency, Russian citizenship. These are all great issues to connect over and to find each other and create this community of people who actually really want to find themselves in different circumstances, as we say, move on and move to Russia in one way or another.
Totally agree here. I'm so excited actually to hear that that there is a development, right? Because on the everyday basis, I talk with people from different countries, and they're asking me, so will we have any sort of the developments, right? I mean, it's a huge thing just to relocate, just to move especially with your family members, right? Like older guys or just children. I mean, this is huge. People sell their properties, sell everything, and this is a big step, and that's why they're asking. So should we expect some some good news, right, with Russian maybe tax legislation or migration legislation or customs, right? And this is the thing. It's such a relief that that the authorities and especially Maria Butina, they really work for you guys. This is the bottom line. So I do believe that it's subscribers of Welcome to Russia. They already know that this is what Maria Butina and her team, this is what they do, right? And this is so cool that we can have these meetings, forums, share ideas, and this is the very first step, right, for growth. So we would have more and more opportunities, as well as business opportunities, because at the very beginning we just talked about this, this investment program,
Yeah,
right? So
the golden visa. Yeah, exactly.
the so-called golden visa. We don't have any golden visas.
It's
Right?
not a visa, yeah, obviously.
This is just the this is
That's
just a term.
important to know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a term.
This is the investment program. So it's really cool that that they hear us. I mean, they authorities, and us. I mean, our clients, because we're somewhere between, right? And I really I really appreciate all the work and what Maria Butina does and her team as well. This is huge, and yeah, thank you, Ivanna. Also, thank you so much for bringing up this, questions. I actually answer these questions every day because this is very important just to understand what would be your further steps.
Yeah, Michael, thank you so much again for taking the time. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It is great to understand that these initiatives are moved upon and moved on in the hierarchy of Russian legislation, that people that want to immigrate to Russia waits for all of you guys. And it's really, we're really happy to have the opportunity to consult you. So please feel free to message us in our outlets, in our migration chats. Follow all of our social media where we share this advice, where Michael actually constantly has information coming. So what he has been talking about tonight, and more useful information about relocating to Russia just at your fingertips. Please feel free to make use of all of this information. Subscribe to all of our wonderful YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and more channels. And yeah, just really excited to see everybody on our sessions that are like these ones.
And also join, of course, Welcome to Russia group. It's a huge thing. And also attend offline, meetings, right? These forums. This is this is a huge thing. And if you're in Moscow, so you know what to do on Saturday and Sunday, right? And
December.
Mark, and December 20th, right? Yeah, that's right.
The Catherine the Great Forum. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. Goodbye. Take care. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.